In the last module, we learned about some of the important features of ES6, and that module is very much important as we are going to use them throughout this course. In this module, we are going to learn about components. Components are independent and reusable bits of code. In React, there is two types of component. First, class-based component, and second, functional component. Let's see about the syntax of class-based component in React. Here we can see in the first line we are importing two things. First is a React and second is a component, and we are importing them from the React package. React package get automatically installed when we create the React project. So here React is a default export and component is a named export, as component is wrapped inside the curly braces. So it's an easier way to identify which one is a default export and which is a named export. If you see anything wrapped inside a curly braces, that is a named export from that package. And in the lecture of class, we have learned to declare a class, we have to write the class keyword. After that, we have to write the name of that class. And the class name should start with a capital letter. So here we can see class based. So we are creating one class with the name class based, and after that we are extending the property of this component class. So here using the keyword extends, we can implement inheritance. And after that we have to wrap everything inside the render method. So in class-based component, we have to keep in mind, we have to extends component and everything should be wrapped inside this render method. So inside this render method, we are returning the JSX. And at the bottom, we are exporting it as a default export. Now let's see the syntax of functional component. Also in functional component, we have to import React from React, and after that we have to write one function, and here we have written arrow function. We can either use an arrow function or a normal JavaScript function. So in the arrow function, inside the arrow function we are returning the JSX. So if we'll compare this with the class-based component, we can see few differences. First, that in functional component, we do not extend the component, and we cannot do that also as it is not a class. It is a functional component. So we cannot extend component. And the second, inside the functional component, we don't have render method. But in class-based component, we have a render method and everything is wrapped inside the render method. We will see this in depth when we learn one by one about the respective components. And at the end of this module, we will see why we should use functional component instead of class-based component. So first we will learn everything of class-based component, then we will go to functional component. Let's continue about some of the important topics of class-based component from the next lecture.